He did say his prime year was probably in 2018. So you guys had some of his glory years as well. Did it ever feel like he was ever chasing records, or is this just naturally a result of how the man plays the game?
You can't chase 22 years of 25 points a game. You can't chase
Thank you.
that. You can't like you know what? I've always wanted to be faster than Usain Bolt. Certain things you just can't chase. You got to have the ability to do things, and then we're kind of watching it and you're like, "Oh shit, dude might be able to do something." But no, his thing has always been about winning, playing the right way. I love that his 10-point a game streak ended. Um
You were
no.
so
I'm saying
mean.
no. I love that it ended on he could have, and this is what people don't understand. On that shot, if he would have missed it, right, he would have had 5 more minutes because they were up. Or excuse me, the score was tied. So a miss sends you to overtime, if I'm correct. So if he would have missed that, he could have made it, got the 10-point streak alive. He missed it, he goes to overtime to get 5 more minutes. What does he do? He makes the right play. He makes the right play. That right there is the ultimate show of like, hey, there's a lot of options. If I'm calculated, I shoot this, streak stays alive. I miss this, we go to overtime. I got 5 more minutes to keep the streak alive. Or I make the right play, Rui knocks it down. We win the game. Who gives a shit about the streak? That's the ultimate sign of is he chasing things? There were multiple scenarios there to keep that streak alive, and he chose the right play, the right pass. Same with Kyle Korver. Same with different shots. In game 6. There's so many opportunities. Game 5. There's so many opportunities for him to chase stats that he plays the game, but he plays it at such an elite level that you look up and you're like, oh, well, he's got 20, 25 points again. What did they say? They said that there was a streak where if you take out all of the points, all of the games where he scored under 20, he would still be the leading scorer all time in history.
No, above
You
20.
you saw that
Above
I'm saying
too?
if you take all of the points, all
right.
the games that he scored under 20,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the 200 games or whatever he scored under 20, he would still be the leading scorer.
That is
It's
insane.
Like,
it's insane. My thing is this is also like if he wanted to, he could be like, you know what? I just want to get 40 every night. When in his prime. Now he's 40. You can't say that. But like when a guy, okay, so here's something that I'll say. When you look at players that go to the NBA finals 10 straight years, they lead in one, maybe two things. Braun was leading both teams in multiple NBA finals in every single category. You can't chase that. Yeah, because other people are experts at those things, and he's still better than them at that. If that makes any sense. There are guys who their one job is to score, and he's leading a team in scoring. Then you have big men who are rebounders, who it's their specific job to rebound, and he's out rebounding them. Then you have guys who are assist guys, and he's getting more assists than them. And then you say, oh, he's not playing defense, but then he's leading it in steals and blocks. So it's like, he doesn't really play like that. I think at times he's very calculated about like, okay, I need to score here because of X, Y, and Z. He plays chess while a lot of us play checkers. Some of us are trying to start, and I said this story before. I don't know if I have never played with a player who is not just playing to win games or win championships, but to be the greatest player ever and actually have a chance to do that. Like
yeah.
when you put that in your mind,
Yeah, it's like
like
he's trying.
yeah, even Steph Curry goes, yeah, I'll never be the greatest player ever. Brown goes, yeah, I do have a
I
chance.
could. I have a bit of a chance. Like Wimby, no,
Speaking
like
of
Wimby's,
that,
That's ridiculous.
speaking
Wimby's
of
like
that,
that too. Wimby's like that. Like Wimby's like, bro, if you reach your ceiling,
Oh
you
God.
know you could be a top 5 player of all time. Most people in our chat, most of us, like we're just
I'm gonna be an
surviving.
all-star.
We're like, yeah, like all the people, like there's people in our chat, bronze trash. It's like, bro, I wish you could wake up and have a
Yeah.
speck of the stress of fucking the NBA, Nike, all the things, and it's just like I'm just gonna go out there and
You
do
may not
this.
like
So,
him, but to say trash, just be like, he's not my guy.
he's
there
not my
Fine.
there
I
are
guy.
get
He's
two
it.
not
types
my
of
guy.
people in this world. There are the Richards that see that in the chat. He pulls out those comments in the chat, and then there's Allie's. Chanting on a bull is like a giraffe riding a bike. It's not going to end well.
Yeah.
I actually
First of all,
like.
you got
I love
a
that.
giraffe on a bike?
I just want you guys to know that it's taken us about 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. That's a little dramatic before I tell you to hit the like and subscribe button. That's just your reminder, obviously, to make sure that you don't miss it every single time we go live Tuesdays and Fridays. Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And I just realized last week that, yeah, you just hit the X on the chat button and then you go hit the like, the thumbs up. A little basketball starts bouncing, which is really cool. Go check that out. We appreciate it.
Let me
as
do it. I'm
always.
going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. We are
Yes.
at 82. We are now at 83.
82. We are now at 83. I do want to shout out a listener on the audio side because I think we have invested so much time in the YouTube that we love so much, obviously being able to engage with all of you. Our girl, Shantria James, just want you to know that we are paying attention and we hope to serve your needs as well as you're listening on your commutes and your drives. So thank you for your feedback. All right, moving on. Golden State Warriors outlasted the Houston Rockets 115-113 in overtime Thursday night without Steph Curry. Did you guys watch this game, by the way? You guys able to
I
catch
was
this one?
I was traveling to Oklahoma City.
Warriors were
up,
up
parts
3
of it?
with about 30 seconds left in overtime when Kevin Durant was fouled on a three-point attempt, made 2 of the 3 free throws. Golden State got the rebound. Melton made a tip-in layup with just over 5 seconds left to push the lead to 3. Fouled KD again to avoid the three-point play. He missed 1 of 2 free throws, giving Golden State the win. I do just want to say this. It was one of the craziest things. KD going into that game, he's on the verge of quite possibly his third 50-40-90 season. He's at 50-plus, 40-plus, and at 89.1%. He had made 33 straight free throws going into that game. And you know Grady, Rich. Michael Grady on the call, one of the best voices. He hit the broadcast jinx.
Grady, you can't do that, Grady. You can't do that.
It was so
Kevin.
funny.
Did he give him with the announcer jinx? Did he hit him with the announcer
Candace
jinx?
and D-Way got him so bad. It was so funny.
Oh,
But, yeah, obviously something we're not used to seeing from KD down the stretch. Are the Rockets the dark horse in the Western Conference? Or are they missing something to be real contenders? They are now 1-6 in overtime games this season, guys, and they are 16-18 in the clutch.
Their offense looks very your turn, my turn. And I know we said like, hey, Van Vliet going down was huge, and maybe these guys can piecemeal it. None of them are point guards except for Reed Shepherd. I love when he's in that game, right? To me, balling, but he understands his role, right? I remember at the beginning of the year, Ime was like, they were like, would you ever switch Amen Thompson for Reed in the starting lineup? And he was like, never. But now he's going to have to figure out a way to keep Reed in that damn game because Reed is the one looking for other people while Amen is being athletic, KD, Sengun. But their offense looks gross for big stretches of the game. It's like KD will do his thing, and then Sengun and Jabari Smith will like just stand in the corner. I keep saying
that was
Parker,
a throwback name.
I know. And like it just doesn't seem like they've had a lot of time to kind of figure it out or how to work. And it just doesn't look like it's naturally going to happen. So you need to put somebody in that situation that's going to do it for them. So that's what I think.
This team is tough. They have it was like a week ago. It was them in Cleveland had the most double-digit comeback wins. Where they'd been down double digits and came back to win. I think we mentioned this on the pod before. So there's an incompleteness to what they have. And when we had them projected to be one of those dark horses, that was Van Fleet included. We looked at Phoenix. They have more than enough talent. This is the thing I like about where the league is right now. Let's go top to bottom. Detroit, they still have questions. They don't have a primary secondary scorer. The Knicks, they're somewhat unproven, but they are legit. Boston, obviously, there's questions about Jason Tatum and can they win. Now on the other side, San Antonio, unproven. Denver, they're still working out the kinks. They are great. Houston, there's a little bit unproven about them. OKC is proven, but you also want to see the collective health of J-Dub and all of these guys. Like wrist injuries and these things, like we know he's going to be ready to play. But ultimately, there's just questions through all the top 8 teams, 4 in each conference. There's questions about it. Not saying that Denver can't win a championship, not saying that OKC isn't the favorite, but there's enough going in to the playoffs to say there's not a clear cut, no doubt, if this team stays healthy, they're going to be 100% winners. OKC, you can say that, but also they had a game 7 against Denver. They had a game 7 against Indiana. So even when they won the championship, it wasn't like this clear, smooth cut. They
Right.
started off 24-1, just like the Golden State Warriors. Everyone's talking about 73 wins, but don't forget that team didn't win a championship either. So there's nothing that is clear cut. This is not 2015 to 2018 where it's Warriors and it's Cavs. See you there. It's not Boston being so elite. Okay, they're going to get there. There's not that. That it's parity, and I think it's been exciting to watch.
Let
Do
me
you
ask
think
you this.
Minnesota? Oh, go ahead. I was going to
I'm
say,
just
do
going
you
to
have
ask you this real
Minnesota?
quick question about Houston. I want your guys' take on this because there is youth there, right? And when you think you're without Fred VanVleet, you're without Steven Adams. When people are like, they're missing, I've seen it in the chat, and obviously we know the conversation surrounding those two important individuals. Meeting with Ime before the game yesterday, he made the comment of, what is it he's looking for out of his squad here down the stretch? And he says consistency, and a lot of it comes down to the little things of like KYP, understanding assignments, understanding roles, understanding tendencies throughout the course of a game. And so does that factor into the youth that they are rolling with right now? And could that be a factor come the postseason despite having a Kevin Durant? I just feel like you don't talk a lot about the youth with them right now.
Well, wait, consistency.
You're right. Yeah.
Consistency. So if you are 60 games into the season, Reed, this is his first year as a full-time NBA player,
Yep.
right? Thompson, he's new. Jabari Smith, these are all new spaces where it's like not that, hey, we can prove that we can win, but like proving that you can win games is different than proving that you can win a championship, right? Those are different things. Kevin Durant is proven, right? They have elite guys, but young teams, that was OKC 2 years ago, right? That was, you look at San Antonio this year, you look at like young teams have that. That's why you see oh, we're down double digits and we come back. We're down double digits. That's a season sample size. They are either 1 or 2 in being down by 10 points and coming back to win. What does that indicate? That means that they get down and they figure it out. They get down and then they figure it out. Why are they down double digits so many games when you have this elite team? It's
That's fair.
because they haven't been consistent. Consistency comes with more veterans. They have a lot of young players, right? That's the end of the story.
I love it. So we're moving on because Channing, you were bringing up Minnesota. I want to go there next because there are people in the chat as well talking about the Timberwolves now being the 3 seed. They've won 5 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10. What's your question when it comes to the Timberwolves?
I know Perk brought it up. Like, golly, are they getting enough respect? And after watching the last couple games, they have been putting on an absolute show. It has been crazy to see that team for me, if they could keep this type of defensive intensity, but like still be hot the way they are, I think they could compete with anyone. And they've shown that, right? I think that's obvious. But I also think, I really think that we have to start putting them in that same breath as the San Antonios, as the, I don't want to say OKC, as the Denvers, because I think that they are going to be a bad matchup for teams in those first couple rounds.
Who are we talking about?
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
As you're telling everyone,
Oh.
Mom Jeans for life in the chat, in the comments.
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to be the mom jeans of NBA analysts, and it's like,
What does that
no.
even mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but I like mom jeans. I like mom jeans. No, I think getting to the conference finals those 2 years in a row, they do have a great team, but it's like I still look at this team with questions. If you told me that this team could make another conference finals run, that this team could get to the NBA finals, I would believe it. I just would, if you're looking at basketball history, these aren't always my opinions. Basketball history says that a team that's 5, 6, 4 in that range, they have trouble if they had to play Denver in one round, play OKC in another round, and then play. I just haven't seen that type of consistency throughout the season from Minnesota. Doesn't mean that they're not elite. Doesn't mean that Ant isn't an all NBA player, like first team all NBA player. Like if his team was number 2 or number 1, he'd be in the MVP race. And
Yeah.
they're not. So his numbers say MVP, their stats don't, or their record doesn't. He can have this exact same numbers and be 1 or 2, he's MVP. You're 4 or 5, you're in the conversation. You're 5 or 6, you're just all NBA.
He has been, I mean, I watched, because if I can't make a game, I'll watch like the highlight or, like the thing on NBA TV. Holy shit, he was going to work the other night, and it was a masterclass. I was like, this dude is playing like prime Kobe.
No, thank you.
It was wild.
I will say, no, we have not had our Spurs conversation. We're going to get to that in a couple of minutes, but I did like this comment from Gregory DeLone. Apologies if I'm butchering that. 8394. Not going to lie, Minnesota, the only team I'm worried about as a Spurs fan. And then we have Manny A. Jr. I feel like Ant-Man needs one more piece, I think, to take it all the way. What do you think it is? Experience or another dynamic dual threat piece?
You need a backup center that's like a rim runner and a threat other than Rudy Gobert. I hate saying it. Rudy's been doing solid, but like people killing him in the playoffs. Give me somebody tall and bouncy who's defensively, who can switch. I don't know what it is about Rudy sometimes in the playoffs. So they just be going at him. I think if they had that, I think they'll be fine. Julius seems happy. They got Mike Conley. They got their whole team back. They're dangerous.
Rich, thoughts? Before we
I'm
move
coming.
on?
No.
Rich is not here. Rich is not
right
here.
here.
Kevin's not here.
I'm right
Kevin's
here.
not here. Kevin's not here. Name that movie.
Do you guys not? Kevin!
Anything more on the Minnesota conversation before we move on?
Nope.
No, but I think that when we talk about
Oh.
if we point at Rudy Gobert, they've got Naz Reid, they've got Julius Randle, they've got 3 bigs, right? And if you're just like, yes, Rudy, that's his specialty, right? Defense. But if you got to go small and versatility, you have Julius Randle that can play the 4-5. You can go Julius Randle and Naz Reid as a stretch. So we can say like, oh, Rudy has to do a better job. But you can also say, hey, he's gonna sneeze 3 times.
Yes.
I mean, did you have to do it pointing directly down into the microphone?
That's what
The
I'm saying.
microphone is
But my point is that they have enough bigs that if we just point to Rudy, if they got to take Rudy off so that they could switch across the board, they got Julius Randle and they got Naz Reid. So we can't make excuses and always just point to Rudy that they need another big. They got 3 bigs. They got a 6th man of the year, they got an all NBA, and they got a defensive player of the year. Those are their 3 options. If you start me with those 3 options as a coach, I'm going to figure it out.
Rudy and Nas are iffy defensively at times. Very iffy.
Different defensive deficiencies, though. They're different. Right. Their defenses deficiencies are different. That's where you can be like, okay, you can kind of handle things. You can handle things on the perimeter when we need that. When we got Jokic, when we got these guys, that's when we're going to lean on Rudy. It's the versatility. Channing, when we were fortunate, when we played against Golden State, I played. When we played against Atlanta, you and Kevin played. That's the versatility that Minnesota has. So when you look at it, they got guards that can defend. They got an elite scorer. They got an all-NBA big and scorer. They got all of the pieces. So why are they where they are? That is the whole conversation, and that's where I'll leave it.
Better than spraying the screen, Allie? Okay. I want to say that the chat is on fire today. We love it. The amount of blessings that Channing just got for all the sneezes that he had. I do want to entertain those that are driving in the car, though, on the audio side and have no idea what's going on with the chat. Will you guys give me one of your favorite stories from your 2016 Cavs championship day before we go to our ad break? A favorite story that hasn't been told.
Oh.
We're going to do it on the other side of the ad break after we get the likes.
Oh, because you guys aren't.
I got to think about that. That's 10 years ago, Allie.
I got some good stories.
Oh,
See,
God.
he's got to get his thoughts together. And for all of you that are listening and watching, it's now time to take a moment to check in with our partners. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, it's Friday. Big matchups, national TV games, rivalries, revenge spots. The kind of night where you're locked in from tip-off to late game. Before you lock anything in, check this out. Every Friday, our official road trip and weekly picks go live in the Fanatics Sportsbook app. We're talking the games we're watching, the lines we like, the spots where we see value. You can tail the show, bet with us, build your own parlay off our picks, whatever your style is. If we're riding with it, you can ride with us. Now, while you're in the app, make sure you check out Fan Cash Drops. It's a free-to-play game every Friday where you can win up to $10,000 in fan cash. And about 1 in 4 players win something. It's free. Takes 2 seconds. Literally, there's no reason not to play. Then take that fan cash and put it to work. Use it on bets, throw it on a profit boost, stack it up for something bigger, or spend it at fanatics.com on your favorite team's gear. Your call. Weekly picks, Fan Cash Drops, real rewards. We go there next. Victor Wembanyama, 38 and 16, 5 blocks in the Spurs 121-106 victory against the Pistons. De'Aaron Fox had 29. Stephon Castle had 11 and 12 dimes. In the last week, the Pistons have beaten the defending champion OKC Thunder, Cleveland, and Orlando, and lost to Cleveland and San Antonio. Spurs, on the other hand, have only lost 1 game since January. First, let's start with the Pistons. We're going to go into the Spurs next. Biggest concern for the Pistons going into the playoffs? You guys touched on it a little bit.
Offensive consistency, to me. Offensive consistency. I think, Cade is going to be special. Duran's going to be special. What are you going to get out of Tobias? What are you going to get out of Duncan Robinson? What are you going to get out of that bench? And this is where, this is exciting because they have guys that have the talent to do special stuff. We just need to see it, right? We've never seen it before. We're waiting to see. I can't say, oh, this guy's going to do it or that guy's going to do it. Somebody's going to have to step up for the Pistons because as soon as Cade gets going, they're just going to double team him and rotate. But then you're stuck having guards trying to rebound with Beef Stew and Duran, which isn't going to work. So, and then their shooting has been a little inconsistent, but they're just so physical. They offensive rebound and crash the glass. They're a very old school team.
I think that they're a conference finals. If Detroit gets to the, I understand this. We've talked about that jump that teams make. OKC lost in the second round and they won a championship. Denver's had, some issues. Like Boston had some losses and then they got over the hump. It's very hard. I don't think that I'm trying to think, maybe Golden State was then, I think we talked about this, to not make the postseason or to lose in the first round and then to win a championship the next year. Those things are very, very hard to do. You need experience. You need understanding. So I think the Pistons, if you look at the last 10 NBA champions, they might have the regular season record, but do they have a similar roster of past NBA champions? Denver, 2 primary scorers. You look at Boston, 2 primary scorers. Golden State, we know about their offensive power. You look at Milwaukee, it was a 2-headed monster when you had Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton on top of Giannis, who might have been the best player in the world that year. So when you look at the collective champions over the last 10 or so years, does Detroit have that model? No. Denver does. OKC does. There's a lot of teams that do. The Knicks, that's why we talk about what's his name, Karl Anthony Towns so much, is because we need him to be a 25 to 30 point a game scorer. The 19 to 22, I don't care how many rebounds, how many blocks, you got to be 25 to 30 for you to do that, because there's been a formula that's been done over time. So when I look at that, we ask who's going to step up. who's going to do these things. Same with Houston. Who's going to be the second primary scorer? Julius Randle has done it, but is he the guy in Minnesota? So
Right.
I believe, even when you look at Wemby and the Spurs, they got Wemby, but Wemby's still figuring out how great he can be. And then they have a ton of guys that are very, very good defensively, but they're lacking shooting. So that was the parity question that we had discussed earlier.
Quick question, engage with the chat. Pistons second round exit, then beef up next year. Curryman 1226. Ryder said Cavs will take out Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Ooh. That will be a great series, but I don't. What version of Evan Mobley are we going to get? And what version of Jared Allen are we going to get? Those are my two biggest questions. Because we've seen in the past they don't do well with physicality, and you've just put them up against the two most physical players in the NBA. So for me, I think what I'm loving out of Jared Allen is that, like, James Harden has him feeling a certain way, feeling good. And so, I guess there's a lot of what ifs for all these teams. This is kind of crazy when you really think about it. So I think I'll take Cleveland. I'm a homer. But.
Rich, what was that reaction to Channing's thought?
No, well, you tell me what that reaction was.
I just liked Channing getting excited and geeked about matchups.
Well,
Something
because
there's
so much parity, it's ridiculous, right? It's not like no one team is that down. Like, obviously, the Spurs are doing well, but we just went for 10 minutes and said about what they need to do better. Like, we could say OKC, they've been great, but there's still room to get better. Every single team, the parity in the NBA is pretty awesome right now.
Mo from NYC tapping into the chat. All right, let's move to the San Antonio side. What concerns you most about the Spurs? 6 weeks to go in the regular season.
Wemby's health. That's it.
Okay. So let's, because I like to go with the approach that we assume everyone's healthy. We assume. So
scoring off the bench.
Scoring off the bench. Well, they got Keldon Johnson. They got guys. I think they're shooting. I think they're shooting, and it's like when the game slows down, when the game gets to that. Okay, De'Aaron Fox has the ball. He's running a pick and roll with Wemby. Wemby's rolling. The teams pull in, and now it's Castle shooting. It's Vassell shooting. It's
Harrison Barnes.
It's Harrison Barnes. So like if those guys make shots, if they shoot between 35 and 40% from three, like there's 3-4 guys. We had, I think, 5 or 6 guys that were shooting 39% or better going into the finals, right? So when that's just such a powerful formula that's the only thing that they're lacking. What did the Lakers do? They went and got shooting. What was OKC missing? They were missing a big. They went and got a big in Hartenstein. So it's like you look at teams oftentimes fill in the gaps in year 2. This is year 1 for OKC. For San Antonio. This is year 1. This is a year that we are real. Wemby's established himself. This is year 1. It is hard to win a championship in year 1 of your greatness. Warriors didn't do it. OKC didn't do it. Boston, you see how long it took them to get over the hump. It's hard to do it in year 1. It doesn't mean they won't get to the conference finals. Won't mean they won't go to the NBA finals. It means that it's hard to do.
Fair. Facts. Love it. We had a further conversation that we will get to either on this episode or on Tuesday when it comes to the Spurs and the Pistons specifically. But for now, we have a little breaking news. Do you guys want to know what the breaking news is? All eyes are on the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum is available. Will return to action tonight for the Celtics. I do want to just say this. Yesterday, Joe Mazzulla had a funny response when asked about Jason Tatum's theory, because people thought maybe he would return either today or on March 14, which is 3/14, because Tatum's hometown area code is 314, and he signed a contract extension worth $314 million. Guess what Joe Mazzulla's reaction was?